This is ASS Breaking News.
Allah Akbar! Allah Akbar!
Good evening. I'm Brock Jurgensen.
And I'm Asman Bin Licken.
Wow, Asman, you almost messed up your name. That's
I had some balls in my mouth. I apologize.
That's quite all right. That's quite all right. This is ASS News, bringing you the top stories this week. Take it away, Asman.
Presidential hopeful and California Governor Gavin Newsom sat down with former White House press secretary Jen Psaki Sunday evening in an interview that would make Russia state TV blush, since Psaki was playing Find the Easter Eggs with her mouth and Newsom's balls.
That is actually an accurate portrayal right there.
Yeah, I still can't believe they put it on national TV.
Wow. You can't really say those are blue balls, can you, Jay? Asman.
Well, I mean, Psaki probably doesn't know what she's doing with balls, so it's a pretty accurate description.
Very, very nice. A new study finds that climate change is making major league sluggers into even hotter hitters due to warmer, thinner air, which allows hit baseballs to travel further, resulting in more home runs. In related news, climate change has seen a 69-point jump in its approval rating, making it as popular as sex, puppies, and having sex with puppies.
Climate change is really destroying humanity.
That or really saving puppies. I mean, think of all the puss they're getting. They haven't gotten that much puss since Tom was getting chased by that dog in Tom and Jerry.
No, that's true.
Gotta think of the big picture here, Asman.
The Dalai Lama is under fire for inappropriate touching and kissing a minor on the lips on Monday. He was also caught on hot mic asking the minor to suck on his tongue. The Dalai Lama has since come out as a drag queen and stated he was just trying to help the child learn how to read. The Dalai Lama has been praised for this heroic strength by the New York Times and MSNBC.
It is stunning and brave. And by the way, he looks really good in drag.
Yeah, the purple really goes with him.
And also, maybe it won't be so bad if we suck his tongue.
Well, I think that's how the Dalai Lama
we
transfers his essence into his new reincarnated body.
We're too old, like the Lincoln Project, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Porn star Stormy Daniels revealed in the sit-down interview with Piers Morgan last week that she's been receiving suicide bomber-type death threats since former President Donald Trump was criminally charged over the hush money payments Daniels received over an alleged affair. When asked to give some details of the suicide bomber-type threats, she brought up an example of a 4'9" brown midget who said he wanted to wage a jihad on her ass.
And honestly, that midget waging jihad on ass is what Muhammad said in Surah Al-Baqarah.
The cow.
You go eat the cow's asses.
And the cow could be a euphemism for your mom.
Exactly. See, you can find everything in the Quran.
Big picture.
It's timeless. Timeless. An unedited naked photo of Lizzo she posted back in 2021 has been making the rounds on Twitter recently, continuing a conversation on unhealthy stereotypes on beauty and break down the standards in the industry. We reached out for a comment from Moto from Madagascar. He said, look, I like them big, I like them chunky, but that bitch is the size of Uranus.
And Uranus is quite huge.
So is your mom's.
Texas police dispatcher Crystal Perez has been suspended after her husband caught her sexting 7 different police officers, including 2 with whom she was having affairs. Some of the texts are too explicit to share, but according to the publicly available text, Sergeant Ronaldo Salinas wrote to Perez, "I feel so hot and sexy when I'm in you," with Perez responding, "I can feel it, all of it, and I love it." We here at ASS News condemn the Texas police dispatcher and the officers involved, not for being accused adulterers, but for plagiarizing the script word for word of Brokeback Habibis.
I know when he said that, it brought a tear to my eye, especially knowing that Siraj is only 2 inches. To be able to fill those 2 inches, that's true love.
It is. What a tight butthole that is. Anyways, Habibis, welcome to another Habibi Power Hour.
You, on tape, called me a brown face. Yes, sir, it's on tape.
Right, and what I told you was what you just exhibited as the only member of their caucus who was not of the Caucasian persuasion. I said that you put a brown face on white supremacy.
Well, I'm a businesswoman. I had a really clear job to do when I took over Bud Light. And it was, this brand is in decline. It's been in decline for a really long time. And
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
What's going on, Habibis? I'm Siraj Hashmi.
And I am Jay Kobbe.
And we're the Habibi Bros. Welcome to another episode of Habibi Power Hour. How you doing, Jay?
I am doing wonderful. How's your week been?
Week is, man, I keep forgetting.
Ramadan, Passover, and Easter all happening at once.
Yes, happy belated Easter, happy belated Passover, happy belated Ramadan Kareem.
Right? I mean, you can't get better Holy War dates than that, huh?
No, you really can't. In fact, it's actually pretty stunning and astonishing that we've come this far, and there hasn't been another intifada on our hands.
Well, I mean, if you're looking at what's happening in Israel, it looks like it kind of almost happened.
Okay, fine. It's coming.
Coming.
Yes, zoom in for that.
Mm-hmm.
Habibis, we are streaming live on Rumble. We also are on YouTube, but we are going to cut that off here momentarily because we like Rumble. They let us do what we want, and they don't demonetize us or shadow ban us, which is something that it's something that YouTube does because they're literally Islamophobic.
Absolutely. They can't enjoy 2 gay Muslims on air live.
It's terrible.
And also contract.
When is the time that you think people will start accusing us of being straight men in gay face, kind of like how there are men walking around in women face?
Maybe when we stop being gay.
Oh, okay. Then let's never stop being gay.
Yes.
I like that idea. If you haven't already, go ahead, hit that like and subscribe button. $5 a month to join our locals community with the non-pores chat and the Habibi Bros Discord server, which is a place where we just harass each other, roast each other, dunk on each other, and also hang out.
Plan another 9/11.
And plan another 9/11.
By 9/11, I mean it's Ernie's birthday. Right?
I actually, so this is what
Ernie's birthday. Like that's what we plan.
That's true. Yes, it is Ernie's plan. We also changed the promo on locals. It's you don't even have to sign up for an annual subscription. You can just sign up and pay by month, and you get 2 months free using the promo code JenRubin 42069, or is it 69420? Either way, it's in the description. You can just
why make a code so difficult? I don't understand. Just Gen 69 my balls.
All right, that'll be the next promo code.
I like it. After 2 months, look out for Habibis.
Big dongs.
And you don't even need an anal subscription. Like
you don't need an anal subscription.
Now you can do it month by month.
Also,
not enjoy what you're looking at. You can, unsubscribe.
Yeah. Also, I got to do this because we got a ton of merch. If you like like some of the merch that we're wearing, go ahead and check out our Habibi Bros. Our store. It's in the description. HabibiBros.us. You can get all. Look at that shirt. Look at that.
I think I'm gonna bring the porn stash back.
You really should.
I need to like Carl needs to step up and actually beat me in Final Fantasy for me to actually lose and do the porn stash.
Oh, is that what has to happen?
That's what has to happen. And Habibis, if you join our Discord server, you can also join our, football fantasy league or Habibi fantasy league. We just finished our March Madness bracket, which yours truly, Mr. Siraj,
Oh, that's
Habibi
right.
in chief, actually won.
I forgot about that.
Carl
This is
got
our
like
premium
12th,
store.
12th
What?
place. Carl got like 12th place.
As is tradition, as it should be.
Yes.
Also, real quick, so the shirt I'm wearing is from the premium store. It's got the tapered sleeves, makes you actually feel like you've been hitting the gym, even if you haven't been hitting the gym, like me.
Right, which you need to start doing.
Which I do definitely need to start doing after Ramadan.
I've been sending you gym pics to try and motivate you to get back in, and also my protein shits.
And I've been literally sending you pictures of me taking a shit every time I do, to kind of motivate you to have a more regular bowel movement.
Thank you, Habibi. That means a lot. Honestly, it's
You're
very
welcome.
important. I don't know if people understand how important that is.
Habibis helping Habibis. This is what we're about. Anyways, the Tennessee Three, Jay, the Tennessee Three, they are a group of lawmakers who are stunning and brave beyond measure. Yes. They are the people who are going to save democracy. Isn't that correct?
That is absolutely true, especially when you look at the media and how they're portraying these Tennessee Three.
So the backstory of the Tennessee Three, again, is not the actual band that featured Johnny Cash. I don't know why they
there was an actual band named the Tennessee Three.
Yeah, it was consisting of Johnny Cash. Who else? It wasn't actually three people. It was like four, but they just called it three for some reason. I guess they're bad at math in Tennessee.
That tracks.
Well, maybe the original Johnny Cash, Luther Perkins, and Marshall Grant, and then they just like added a fourth person on drums, and then they couldn't change the name after that. So,
right,
what are you gonna do?
Was the guy on drums like even memorable? Is he somebody famous?
I believe it was what's her name? Meg White. No, hold on. Jack White's ex-wife. What's her first name? I don't know. White people names, they're dime a dozen, okay?
Yeah, this is true.
Either way, her last name, and I'm not talking about white people like the race. I meant white people as in the white stripes, those white people.
Well, they're really
don't
white.
Get it twisted. That wasn't a racist statement or a racially charged statement. I'm literally talking about white people as in Jack White and his, I guess, former bandmate / ex-wife. God, what's her first name? I know her last name because it's White.
I thought they were brother and sister.
It is Meg White. I was right.
White is right.
It is Meg White. Holy shit. I can't believe I got that right. First time I get a white person's name right, and it's Meg White. Anyways.
We need to have a game night with Habibis again, like the trivia game night. So I have these games called Jackbox games.
Jack-off games?
Jack-off games. So what we can do is all get into a channel on Discord together and play Jack-off games together.
We should play Jack-off games as soon as Ramadan ends. Let's make a plan to do that. The week after Ramadan ends, we're playing Jack-off games.
So Habibis, make sure to sign up on Locals and get onto our Discord server and join us. Yeah, we can also live stream it too and have people.
Yeah, we can live stream each other, jacking each other off.
This is going to be a perfect stream after Ramadan.
Hopefully, I get to jack off Jay and Jay gets to jack me off.
I should be going to Florida soon, so
inshallah. So, with that being said, we're going to go ahead and end the stream on YouTube because we probably.
Thank you. Good night.
Thank you and good night. Come join us on Rumble. Links in the description. All right, now that that's out of the way, let's go.
Oh yeah,
yes. It's about time.
Show us, Habibi.
Yeah, we gotta do it. There we go. It's like I've been going to the gym all this time.
Yes.
Yes. So let's get back to the top story, the Tennessee 3. By the way, I know that the title of this episode is it's not gay when it's a Tennessee 3-way, but in this case, it's actually very gay. Extremely gay. Some would say the most amount of gay. It is
right.
Gay.
And during Ramadan too. It's been absolutely insane. This story has been insane. How they try to keep it in the news when nobody really gives a fuck about this. I mean, especially in Tennessee, nobody's going to really care. The people that they have.
It's an entirely a liberal circle jerk.
Absolutely. That's exactly
the fact that we're even leading with this story shows you how fucked our priorities are. Because, and we're going to get into, we have like a full list of things that we want to talk about. The US dollar being de-dollarized and basically being less valuable than a literal piece of dog shit. We have the U.S. document leak showing that Ukraine is actually going to be, they're actually pretty fucked. And then what else we got? We got, Trump got interviewed by Tucker. We're going to talk about that. Jen Psaki, former White House press secretary, interviewed Gavin Newsom, the governor of California, and also Jay's favorite governor of all time. And then finally, what else we got? Dylan Mulvaney getting the bag, and then we're not talking about we're not talking about the 2 bags currently hanging between his legs. We're talking about literal money bags.
Literal money bags.
So let's start off with the Tennessee 3 because that's literally what we call this episode in light of that. Because Flapper on Local says, for some reason I decided to put Habibi Bros on while I was folding laundry with my wife. First 30 seconds of her Habibi Bros experience. First 30 seconds of her first Habibi Bros experience. Siraj says, I'm sending you pictures of me taking a shit.
Hey, it's really good that she understands exactly what she's getting into.
Yeah.
In the first 30 seconds. We like to bring it all up there. Like we just, you can read us like an open book.
Flapper, aka Bart.
If
you haven't, Elder Bartleby, aka Bart, aka Bart BB. If you're not following him on Rumble and on Twitter, go give him a follow. He also has been hanging out with me on these Elden Ring streams. We've been shooting this shit on there. I got to do another one of those. So, but yeah, sorry to Bart's wife for her first memory of Habibi Bros having to picture me sending me taking a shit to Jay. We just at Rumble we speak our truth. Yeah, we have to. It's our truth. It can be yours too.
Only for $5 a month.
It's for $5 a month. Okay, so the Tennessee 3, because this is now the third attempt
for us to get into this fucking
to the fucking Tennessee 3.
Useless garbage pieces of shit.
So all of the focus has now shifted to the Tennessee 3 instead of the Nashville 6, the actual people who died from a trans person taking a gun into a school and shooting and killing 6 people, 3 of whom were children. And we don't have a manifesto because the police never released one, so we have no idea what their motivation is. We can only speculate. Mm-hmm. But in spite of this is how, there was the transurrection, which was the democratically approved, and by democratically, I mean the Democrat approved insurrection on the Tennessee state capitol to try to basically pass like sweeping gun control legislation. And in that same day, former President Donald Trump was indicted with 34 different criminal charges. And as that all happened, and I don't know if this was within it wasn't in the same day. Definitely, I don't think it was even in the same week. But 3 Tennessee lawmakers were expelled. Their names are fuck off, fuck you,
who gives a shit,
and give me AIDS.
Those three.
Now, Justin Jones, Justin Pearson, and Gloria Johnson. Actually, Glorious Johnson. That's what they used to call me in middle school for my. And this was like, I had hit my growth spurt before the other kids, and so like, I got to like 2 inches before everyone else did, and so that was my name, Glorious Johnson.
Until it stopped growing, and now
we thought there was going to be a lot more growth, but ended up just stopping there. So. I don't know what to tell you.
So why were these 3 expelled?
These 3 were expelled for actually, Jay, I believe is because Justin Jones, of all people, and I don't know about Justin Pearson, but they joined the demonstrators at the quote unquote demonstrators.
I know. I love how they describe it.
How they describe the BBC News. BBC News describes them as demonstrators. Gathered, basically joined the insurrectionists at the State House on the 30th of March to demand stricter gun control laws. The 3 entered the House chamber during the transurrection. It led chants from the lectern, a lectern that a guy got convicted of stealing in 2021 during the Capitol Hill riot. But it's funny because in sort of like the follow-up, the aftermath, it's all of the focus has been on these 3 lawmakers.
Yeah.
And
never the victims. I mean, even after they were kicked out, the media quickly, and not just the media, all the other Dems and their allies quickly switched them to looking like they were the victims here. They were the victims for being kicked out.
Bro, they should just call them the Tennessee Me, because I haven't heard anything but me.
Mm-hmm. Especially when the real victims of this whole thing were the 6 that were killed and murdered by that trans terrorist.
Right.
And even
zero discussion about that.
Zero. Nothing from the White House. The White House used them only as a prop to push gun control. Didn't even invite them, the families, to the White House. Instead, they invited these 3 pieces of fucking garbage, insurrectionists, and the people who led an insurrection in the Tennessee courthouse, to the White House. And you have journalists that were pearl clutching throughout January 6th, praising them and saying that these people are actually fighting for democracy.
Yeah, it is. Look at this. This is a tweet from the Vice President Kamala Harris, tweeting, "Today I stood with parents. I stood with parents, students, and in Tennessee 3. They won't be silenced, and the demands for gun reform must be heard. In Congress and in state legislatures around the world, around our nation, leaders must have the courage to act." Like this is. I feel like they're gaslighting us half the time. I mean, they are, but it's. God, I fucking hate this.
And what is the swing in Tennessee in terms of their politics? What's the swing in Tennessee, like between Republican and Democrat?
Oh, it's heavily Republican.
Heavily, so like by like 30 something points.
It's at least plus like 20 to 30 on a good night for them.
This is going to do nothing to swing any voters within Tennessee. They're just using these people as props to try and pretend that they need to use the federal government in order to make sweeping legislations on everything.
Right.
And they're going to use these people as that type of face, these pieces of garbage that wanted to take the light and spotlight away from the real issue and the real victims and the real people who died and the real person that is responsible, in order to blame other people who have nothing to do with it, to blame other gun owners who are law-abiding citizens. And Red Steezy made a great point in tweet that now there are more trans people responsible for mass shootings than NRA members.
more trans people responsible for mass shootings than
NRA members.
Well, Jay, that just means we have to defund the NRA.
Absolutely. They're the ones 100%. Who are causing everything.
Thank you, NRA.
It's amazing because usually when you see the politics of the mass shooters, when you see who they are, a lot of them are left-leaning. None of them are NRA members. And the first thing these fuckers do is try to go after NRA members and law-abiding gun citizens.
So what you're saying, Jay, is that this is another psyop to try to take our guns away. It's all by design.
I mean, you could just see it like that too, because the thing is, all of their parading around, all they're doing is getting other people from San Francisco and from fucking New York City riled up in Portland about guns and all that kind of stuff, and that how they need to do mob rule on everyone else in between.
Yeah, I mean, that's how they've been treating people like Riley Gaines and even Anna Kasparian of the Young Turks. Like Anna Kasparian, who is not even like right-leaning and like not even slightly right-leaning. She is so far to left. She is absolutely like,
she's Bernie Sanders,
as far left as they come. She tweeted the other day or last week that she hates this label of being called a birthing person, or she wants to be called a woman, and which she is.
Right.
And she's obviously she abhors these labels of birthing person or pregnant person. Like, no, they're women. Okay. And all the fucking trans people were in her replies, just dragging the shit out of her, calling her a TERF, calling her a transphobe. Like, it's honestly, it's kind of disheartening to see like the trans like cultists. Like at this point, it's a cult. The way that they've operated, and you can make this a discussion about leftism as a whole. Like it is very much this whole like idea of being like a secular humanist. Like, no, you're not a secular humanist. You are replacing the ideology of leftism and politics. You're replacing religion with that. And if God didn't exist, you'd have to create him. This is them creating God. God is leftist ideology, and everything that they do is basically they're just trying to advance that. It is very culty.
Yeah,
in the sense that like they have chosen family and they have people that, you know, if they don't agree with them, they're considered basically their enemy. It's
and if you try to blaspheme on the certain words and ideology, like for example, Anna Kasparian saying that she doesn't want to be called birthing person and she wants to be called a woman, they went after her fucking hard. And it's really insane that the people that they mainly go after are women.
They do 100%. I have received almost zero pushback for wanting to be called a woman.
Right.
Zero.
Well,
which I am, of course.
Well, I think it's because it's universally accepted in science that you are a woman.
It is. I mean, my penis is so small, you would think it's a vagina.
It's a clitoris. But we found the clitoris, everybody. We found the clitoris.
You found it. You found it.
And it's really funny because the only thing like Riley Reid. Sorry, I was searching something else earlier today.
What the only thing Riley Reid. That sounds like a porn name.
The only thing Riley was doing was talking about her experience with the swim team with Leah Thomas.
Right.
Who wants to be called Leah Thomas now. And it's really and the story about Leah Thomas is he joined the swim team in the university that Riley was in, and he just decided to start being a woman and calling himself a woman and being part of women's sports. The guy went through puberty, so puberty. So you can't use the excuse.
Did you go through puberty with how many times you had to say
that? You can't use the excuse that he was going through hormone therapy at a young age that blocked his development as a man, because the guy towers over all other women. His back is wider like double the size of every woman that's there.
Bro,
He went
why
in
did it
there.
like that? What is this?
He went in there. He went in there and he destroyed all of them. While Riley went through the whole process of really going through the training, going through wanting to become the greatest woman swimmer in college, to lose it all to a man who just decided to be a woman. And we can't listen to her experience because her experience would bring the reality of the situation, of the cult, of what they're doing, what they're destroying, and what they want to take over into the minds of normal people. Because right now, what normal people are so scared of is the cult labeling them as bigots or as transphobes and all that kind of stuff. So if you hear somebody like Riley,
it's very similar.
They'll start following.
Yeah, no, it's very similar to the time of 10, 15 years ago when Obama was president. Anybody who was even minor, even lightly critical of him was called a racist and anti-black for even bringing up valid critiques of his administration. And so, and he milked the shit out of that. I'm talking mommy milking the shit out of that.
No, he did, and the media obliged. The media bent themselves over backwards to go with it, and made them look stupid to go with it. And that's what we're seeing now as well with the cult. They bend themselves over backward. They push out any kind of science or scientific reasoning, or even logic that goes into this for this ideology. And the people who are hurting the most on it are the women in these situations, are the women in these changing rooms. I mean, the thing is, Leah Thomas is not even a real trans person. Leah Thomas didn't go through the surgery. Leah Thomas still had all of his appendages. So they forced these women into a room where a guy would be naked in front of them.
Leah Thomas still has all his dick and balls.
And we has
a bigger dick than I do.
Well, Riley probably has a bigger dick than you do.
That's probably true too. I mean, who are we kidding? The bar is beneath the floor. Anyways, I know we kind of veered off talking about the Tennessee Three, but just so you know, that whole thing is a fucking psyop, and everything about the focus on them is basically done to distract you from what's actually happening in this country. And before we talk about what's actually happening in this country, since we're on the topic of men and women face, Dylan Mulvaney is getting the fucking bag from Nike this time, wearing a Nike women's sports bra. Look at that, Jay. I'm curious, Jay, can the Nike sports bra really hold those two heavies in there? I mean, she's got some heavies, bro. Heavies.
Wood.
Also wood. In fact, it just came. So there's obviously that, but also get a load of this, Jay. Have you seen this? Just
the estimated hold time is now less than 96 minutes.
I love how you can see his shadow.
And what's really funny, what's amazing is when you watch every one of his videos and stuff, it's a mockery of women. Are you telling me this is how women act?
Yeah, it's absolutely.
Especially his video of wanting to be a little girl as well, going into a little girl's room and with dolls and all that kind of stuff. The guy is sick. The guy is sick, and they are affirming and praising this type of sickness.
Wait, why is Spencer saying that this is his comment on locals?
Spencer Sachs on locals.
Spencer,
I think Siraj has bigger tits than Dylan Mulvaney. Fact, that's a fact. We can see it right now. That's a true fact.
Here, hold on. Let's switch back here. Hold on. Hold on. Get us side by side right there. Let's see. Yeah, my tits are bigger.
Your tits are bigger.
They are bigger. Perkier too.
Mm-hmm.
I like him. Flapper on Locals also says Siraj has bigger tits and a smaller bulge. Who's the real woman? Dylan. Fair point.
Very true. And it's fucking hilarious because you had the vice president of marketing of Bud Light coming on going on some call to.
I have that clip if you want me to play it.
Yeah, play it.
All right. Here, let's do this view.
I'm a businesswoman. I had a really clear job to do when I took over Bud Light, and it was this.
By the way, she's never drank Bud Light in her life. Let's just put. I mean, look at the photo. Look at the art she drew. That's definitely from meth.
Brand is in decline. It's been in decline for a really long time, and if we do not attract young drinkers to come and drink this brand, there will be no future for Bud.
Oh, young drinkers. So targeting kids, basically, kind of like the tobacco industry of old. Young drinkers. What kind of young drinkers is she talking about? How young? Because the thing is, people in her ideology and the things that she wants to plaster with Dylan are going after children the ages of 8 and 9 years old.
Jay, what if this was like this was the actual strategy of Bud Light, is that they were trying to circumvent the age restriction, the minimum drinking age laws, so that they could get the teenagers, 13 to 18. I'm sorry, 13 all the way to 20, to get them to drink Bud Light and it'd be okay. I'm sorry. I actually thought for a second that the drinking age was 18, and I realized that we're not in Europe.
No, we're not. We're here in the United States, sir.
I don't know why I thought that. Then I realized that you can be drafted to go fight and die in a war at 18, but you still can't drink a can of Bud Light for another 3 years legally.
No, but you can get yourself on hormone blockers at the age of 11.
That's true too. Think of the land of possibilities. You could cut off your dick and balls, become a girl, get the quote unquote gender affirming care, but you can't fight and die for your country until you hit 18. At that point, what is the use of getting your dick and balls chopped off when you could have had the military do it for you instead? God, these people are so economically stupid.
They kind of really are.
I mean, if you think about it, if the military is paying for trans surgery, why are you waiting until? Why won't you just wait until they hit 18 and you just have the military use our tax dollars, which, all of it's pretty much going to Ukraine, but probably will come back if more trans people join the military and fought and died in our wars.
There was an article on Fox that was talking about the decline of Bud. It was like an 80% decline on Bud Light in the last 3 weeks.
All right, let's just watch the rest of this, because this is I just want to get through this I want to figure out this woman's mental state and if she's mentally sane. But before we do that, Who's Asking on Rumble says, why are you two not throwing back Bud Lights right now? You're not gay if you don't drink Bud Light.
Well, I'm drinking bourbon right now. Usually I drink Buffalo Trace, but right now I'm drinking Woodford.
And I'm drinking water because it's Ramadan, and I'm trying to be a good Muslim boy.
You've been drinking water all
I'm trying to be a good Muslim boy, sir. Okay, let's watch this, bitch.
I'm a businesswoman. I had a really clear job to do when I took over Bud Light, and it was this brand is in decline. It's been in decline for a really long time, and if we do not attract young drinkers to come and drink this brand, there will be no future for Bud Light. So I had this super clear mandate. It's like we need to evolve and elevate this incredibly iconic brand. And what I brought to that was a belief in, okay, what does evolve and elevate mean? It means inclusivity. It means shifting the tone. It means having a campaign that's truly inclusive and feels lighter and brighter and different and appeals to women and to men.
Mm-hmm.
And representation is at sort of the heart of evolution. You've got to see people who reflect you in the work. And we had this hangover. I mean, Bud Light had been kind of a brand of fratty, kind of out of touch humor. And it was really important that we had another approach.
So what's really amazing when you watch people like her, she reminds me of the head of Star Wars in Disney right now, Kathleen Kennedy. So what they do is they'll come on here, talk about how the brand needs to be inclusive. So Kathleen Kennedy has been doing this woman empowerment.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what happened with Star Wars. And that's why the character Finn actually never really grew outside of what he was. And everything was about Rey. I mean, they ruined Finn's character. Like, everybody was speculating and wishing and hoping that Finn was going to be something more than what he was going to be like another Jedi, was going to be, some backstory into who he really was. All of that. They pushed that aside completely and then blamed the fans, the original fans of what made Star Wars as the real reason why it was in decline. And that's what she's doing here now too, because you see what she did. She was saying the old fans of Bud Light, the old customers of Bud Light, the original customers of Bud Light are evil and need to die out. So we shit on them and bring something that nobody ever liked of Bud. Like, these people, these crazy fucks would never like Bud Light, never drank Bud Light, never had Bud Light, never done anything with Bud Light. So instead of going to the original fans and bringing them back and giving them, something to really be joyous about, they shit on them and bring out people who never gave a fuck about the brand in the beginning.
I think what's so funny about the brand manager saying that, Bud Light had a reputation of like this out of touch, like bratty humor. And then they come up with this fucking joke. Why can't I point to it this way? Why they come up with this fucking joke right here?
I know. And it's so fucking hilarious is because not only is this shitting on like the image of woman, it's also shitting on what trans are and trans people and stuff. Because when you see something like this and you want this to be the face of trans people, I mean, this is like going to turn off all groups of people.
However, hold on, no. It's not. It's definitely going to turn off a lot of people, but for you and me, it only turns us on because, I mean, like we said earlier,
I apologize. That is very.
You spoke out of turn, Jay. Shame on you. I did.
And the only people who are praising this are fucking liars and fake motherfuckers. They're fake as shit. When they praise this shit, they're fake as fuck.
The fakest motherfuckers alive. Which, by the way, speaking of fake and getting back to the Tennessee 3, have you seen this yet? This is Justin Pearson when he was in 2016. When he was, I don't know what campaign ad this was. Maybe this was for his initial run, but he was one of the Tennessee 3. Just
in college or something.
In college.
Justin J. Pearson, and I'm running for president of BSG. There are a few reasons that we're running this campaign this year. One has to do with representation. How can we represent all voices in a conversation? I wanted to do this by partnering with organizations from the Bowdoin Democrats to the Bowdoin Republicans. I want to bring together different voices, dissenting voices that may be more liberal or more conservative, in order that we can reach a point of sort of the radical middle.
It seemed like the NRA and gun lobbyists might win. But that was good news for us. I don't know how long this Saturday in the state of Tennessee might last. But we have good news, folks. We've got good news that Sunday always comes.
Justin J.
Look at that. Look at the whole. Look at that. He went Farrakhan on us.
It's a very, very bad impersonation of Malcolm X, and it's also
and
like
Black Dynamite
and Black
Don't forget
Dynamite.
Black Dynamite.
It's a good ad on why you should not send your kids to college.
Flapper on local says Justin Pearson went from Wayne Brady to Malcolm X overnight.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
It's that Chappelle joke, or like he makes Wayne Brady white people. No, that was Paul Mooney. Rest in peace, Paul Mooney. It's like white people love Wayne Brady so much because he makes Bryant Gumbel look like Malcolm X.
That's too good. That's
so
too
good.
good. But I mean, it's absolutely fake. It's fake. That is just a complete acting job of what he was doing, and speaking that way. It's
terrible. I mean, the fact that we've spent so much time talking about this shit and not actually the real things that are happening in this country and around the world. I mean, our foreign policy is a fucking joke, and I want to actually get into that right now. First off, talking about the U.S. dollar basically being devalued by virtue of the fact that now the BRICS countries, that's Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, are basically teaming up to replace the dollar with another form of currency, which they will then use to buy oil or actually any commodity internationally. Because previously, Jay, and you probably know this better than I do because you're the real economics professor here. Maybe you could better explain to us what's actually happening with the U.S. dollar.
So there was a meeting with China, Brazil, India, and also some African nations that are banding together, and Russia, of course, to replace the dollar and agree to use the Chinese currency, the yuan, to trade goods with instead of the US dollar. And the Chinese are now working really hard with Iran and Saudi Arabia to start to get that to be replaced as well, especially when it comes to oil. And getting Saudi Arabia and Iran to make a peace deal the way that they're doing is going to allow more flow of oil to be distributed from Iran to places like Russia or to places like China. And China is really, really in need of this so they can get away from using the US dollar to pay for oil or power to go into their country. And this is all the while we had what's his name? Blinken?
Anthony Blinken, yes. The Secretary of State.
He came up and said that the core issues for foreign policy with the United States are trans issues.
Right.
Or LGBTQ plus issues. Those are the core issues.
Some bullshit like that.
So while he's doing this, you have the president of France meeting with China. You have Saudi Arabia and Iran meeting with China and making peace deals. You have Russia being able to sell oil within Europe and Arab nations to gain more profitability to fund their war with Ukraine, which you say you're against. But instead of actually going in and trying to change this, all of these so-called allies that we have spent billions of taxpayer money that we stole from your pocket to go and protect these other nations, Saudi Arabia, France, fucking nations in Africa, all of these places, billions we spent in the UN to help develop and rape kids within these nations as well, have all gone to waste when we see people banding together with nations like China and Russia. All of the things that we've done foreign policy wise is going to go to shit if they continue to get more nations to go behind China if they get more of Europe to go behind China, and you have France, the president, Macron also announcing that Europe needs to be less dependent on the United States. Europe needs to stop being dependent on the dollar. They need to do all of these things. And this was the meeting right after the meeting with China. And he also stated that Taiwan is not their issue. Taiwan, if China wants to take Taiwan, Taiwan is part of China, all that kind of stuff, it can happen. So
I wanted to bring this up because I want to get your reaction to this, Jay. So this is from 3 weeks ago in Forbes magazine. Well, technically Forbes Advisor. The contributor Wayne Duggan writes, "Why is the U.S. dollar so strong right now?" Let's fast forward. Not even a week. Okay, I'm sorry, not even like to today. This is literally a week later. Could the U.S. dollar collapse? same publication, Forbes, asking if the U.S. dollar could collapse. A week after asking why is the U.S. dollar so strong right now? Look, we're not here to bore you with like all the details and make you have your eyes glaze over. We're saying this because this is absolutely important. And the fact of the matter is that U.S. purchasing power, or the dollar's worth, as you're seeing in this graph here from Wall Street Bet's chairman, is now it's worth $1. $1 is worth $1 in 2020. That is fucking ridiculous. We're the 10th strongest currency in the world, according to another Forbes article. So, I mean, who can you trust really? But the reason why this is important is because if basically all these countries band together, as Jay was illustrating, and basically take out the U.S. dollar, what's left? What's left, Jay? Are we basically left as all the rich people will become poor people, and all the poor people will become even poorer? Is that where we're going?
Well, of course. I mean, because the thing is if you have only $1 and your dollar is now worth 20 cents in comparison to yesterday, the poor people are the ones who are going to be hurt the most. And not just poor, middle class with families. These people are going to get hurt even more because of this. And what this is going to cause is we're a heavily imported nation. And even if you're an American company building your products, your prices are going to go higher because your purchasing power to get items from China or Taiwan or India is going to be diminished. So instead of like, for example, to build a mouse, the wheel of the mouse or the chip of the mouse used to cost, $20. So $20 to get you one chip. Now you're going to have to spend $40 to get one chip. What is that going to do to other people? Down the line, your customer is the one who's going to be paying that paying for that. So to run your business at a 20% margin, let's say, in order to survive, before you were selling it to your customers for $24. Now you have to sell it for $48 in order for yourself to be profitable.
It's insane. No one's going to. You're going to go out of business so quickly.
It's really going to be crazy.
Not to mention the fact that people won't be able to buy that shit.
No,
just by virtue of that.
Well, not only that, places like Amazon, Alibaba, other bigger chains will be able to undercut you in terms of being able to sell to the market. So for the same thing, I could buy on Amazon for still $28 because I'm buying it directly from a Chinese company that's on Amazon. That's where I'm going to go if I have to continue to do that in order for me to survive with my family.
Yeah, it's really insane. And I know that people don't like to talk about like inflation and economics and where like it's not a hot topic in terms of like what brings in people to watch. So like people don't talk about it, but it is look, it is the life force of like what runs this country and this capitalist society.
Right.
If we don't have any money, we will probably become a communist nation overnight.
Who's asking, saying the dollar will become worthless eventually, but it's not going to happen overnight over on Rumble. And the US dollar is strong because there is a huge amount of dollar dominated debt out in the world. And that is correct. A lot of debt owed to us.
I mean, China will get hit if the dollar is replaced because China bought up so much US debt. they're going to take a hit, but they've already set it up so that they can have a fallback plan by replacing the US dollar with the Chinese yuan and using that to basically for like Saudi Arabia to use it to accept that currency to purchase oil. That's going to change the game completely. And the US will no longer be a world power. Not like, look, it's not like it's good to be the king, right? It's good to be the king. Mel Brooks said it best. It's good to be the king. And right now, the U.S. is looking down the barrel of a gun of on the other side of Xi Jinping, Emmanuel Macron, Mohammed bin Salman, literally all these people looking to take us out, like ready, like, squeezing the trigger, like ever so like just put a little bit more pressure on it. We're a bunch of fucking retards. Our president's looking down the barrel of it like it's a pair of binoculars.
And what's really funny about all this is that apparently, like, Biden was sold as the foreign policy king. Like that was like his one thing, was that he was great with foreign policy and stuff. And we seem to forget that he was in the admin with one of the worst foreign policies ever, especially when it came to the Middle East, right after Bush.
So bad.
Worst one with the foreign policy in the Middle East was the Biden administration. I mean, what happened to Yemen, Libya, all of these things, the bombings, all of that was because of the foreign policy that was happening under Joe Biden.
Yeah. Vice President Joe Biden, who, by the way, is still has not been indicted for basically the taking and storing of classified documents in his own garage as vice president, mind you, not as president. Completely.
Right. So these were like even older.
And also the vice president doesn't have any authority to declassify jack shit. Okay. Speaking of classified, I'll use this as a segue. There was a massive U.S. document leak. And this is the big takeaway here, because it's not like we poured through every single document, Jay, because we're illiterate, but we can talk about what was at least revealed in these documents. And that is, Ukraine's fucked. I mean, there's no other way really to put it. Ukraine is absolutely fucked. Also, we've been spying on, not only have we been spying on, the U.S. has been spying on Ukraine and Vladimir Zelensky, and ensuring that basically all the billions and billions of dollars that we spent are probably going to be wasted. But we also spied on Israel, which is something that we've always done, and then spied on South Korea. And it's largely about transfer of arms and weapons to places like Ukraine, something that South Korea discussed, which actually would violate the policy of basically giving deadly arms, lethal arms, to countries engaged in an ongoing conflict. But of course, we knew that the United States spied on its friends and allies. Just ask Edward Snowden. But it's sort of just a reminder that the U.S. is still doing it. But it's interesting though, Jay, and I don't know if you had a chance to really glean John Kirby, who is the what is he, the DO? I don't know if he's in the White House or he's in the Pentagon. For the longest time, I thought he was in the Pentagon, but I'm going to look this up because it's going to drive me insane. He specifically said, he is DOD. He's the actually, no, he's not just DOD. Fuck me.
He's Secretary of
He's
Defense.
the NSC coordinator for strategic comms in the Biden administration. It's way more in depth than I thought it was going to be. But this dude comes out here and says that these documents are not intended for public consumption. That is what he literally said. He warned that the documents have, whether they are authentic or not, have quote unquote no business being on the front pages of newspapers or on television. So you know what that means, Jay? Put them out there. Put all the fucking documents out there. Let's just do it just to spite John Kirby. And when the journos publish all the documents, I just want them to and again, we know that journos don't have the spine or the balls to do this because all of them are pussies. But if they could flip, I'm not saying all of them, but a good chunk of them are all, virtually all of them, maybe like 99.9% of them are pussies, with the exception of a very small few. I wish they would just like flip off, like start off by saying, "Fuck you, John Kirby, posting this shit." Yes. Do you have nothing to say to that?
No,
Am I turning into you?
All I'm saying is that yes, they need to be showing all of these documents. They need to be looked through and they need to be published. And we need to, if they're leaked, show them. I'm just surprised. I'm surprised they didn't use the excuse of hacking like they did with the Biden line.
They said it was possible disinformation. They actually were blaming gamers. At least that's what I saw in The Guardian. They're blaming gamers for the documents appearing on Discord. So now the Biden administration is going to come after gamers for, and first off, document leaks, but two, they're going to blame all the mass shootings on gamers. So they're going to go that boomer route.
Right.
It's going to happen. Anyways.
Gamergate 2.0, the war in Ukraine.
Gamergate 2.0. So just to put a bow on it here, while yes, leaking classified documents is illegal, and I'm sure they're probably going to find the person who leaked them and prosecute them to the fullest extent, there won't be anything done about the actual substance of what's in those documents. Like, they're not going to, unless Jim Jordan or someone like that. Oh, Spencer says it came out of a Minecraft Discord. What a fucking the children yearn for the mines.
That's amazing.
So good. Yeah, no, basically what we're going to say is that nothing's going to happen from this. It's specifically designed to post and smear, push it in your face and say, hey, this is what the United States government is doing. And there's not a fucking thing you can do about it. It's driving us to it's intentionally trying to make us insane. It's gaslighting us. Jay, it's by design.
It's by design.
It's all by design. Okay, moving on. I don't know if you had a chance to watch the Trump interview tonight on Tucker. We're gonna get to the best part of the interviews with our last segment, Jen Psaki or Jen Yazuki. What does Yazuki mean again?
Yazuki means like smartass.
So Jen Yazuki interviewing Gavin Newsom. But first off, the Trump interview. I don't know if you had a chance to watch it, Jay. Did you?
No, unfortunately, I did not. I wanted to get
because
into
there was a really funny clip in it. Maybe I'll find it here. Oh, here we go. Give me. It's basically. Fuck. I'll just play it.
But he was very afraid of nuclear. I said, you got to be a little bit cooler than that. But what happened is now that nobody talks about it, but every day Putin mentions it, and every day other people mention it, and now all of a sudden, if you look, other countries are talking about getting it. This was something you don't mention. I call it the N word. You have two N words. You don't mention either one of them. The nuclear word you don't mention because the power says.
I was so hoping he was going to be like nuclear.
He was just going to say it. He wasn't going to say it with a hard R, Jay. He said it with a hard R, nuclear.
Oh my God. Amazing.
He said it with a hard R and nuclear with a hard R. He could say nuclear. Nuclear. That's a big no. All right, let's keep watching.
Professors at MIT. And I was preparing for a debate. I wouldn't say it was a long preparation, but I did want to talk about nuclear because I consider it to be the single greatest threat the world has, far greater than global warming, like not even a contest. And I had these people come down. They were very smart, very expert. And I said, so when we start talking about nuclear in a debate, how would you handle it? And they looked at me, one in particular, and said, sir, you can't talk about it. You cannot talk about it. I said, what does that mean? He said, it is so massive, it is so destructive that you cannot talk about it. I understood exactly what he meant. And
the fuck did he mean?
From it for the most part. But now Putin's mentioning it all the time. We don't mention, but Putin's always mentioning it. You've heard him say it.
So that's one clip. Trump says the N-word. Say the N-word. That's what we call it here. Say the N-word.
Say the N-word.
No, there was that component to it, and then that was the funniest clip from it.
That was fucking good.
There was like he had the full hour basically to go on Tucker, but it was like maybe like 42 minutes. It's heavily edited. The one thing that was interesting is that he actually spent the whole, instead of talking about it, he spent like maybe a minute or two talking about his actual like arrest and criminal indictment. He spent the rest of the time trashing the Biden administration, talking about foreign policy, talking about Putin, Xi Jinping, and as you saw in that clip, the N-word, nuclear, and how basically the United States, specifically Biden, was very hesitant and afraid to engage with any nation that had nuclear arms or any, nuclear capabilities. And it was, I don't think he like finished his story, like if there was any evolution to whether or not Biden decided to go lean into it. But you're now actually finding us at the point where we're on the brink of what may be the next world war, if not a nuclear war. And I feel fine, Jay. It's the end of the world as we know it. And I feel fine. Do you feel fine?
I feel great.
Do you feel fine, Jay?
I feel great. Harder.
I don't know why I can't hear you.
Harder.
Okay, perfect. There we go.
Harder.
Harder? I'm going harder. I'm going harder, Jay. Trying to, all right?
Usually I shave my chest and then I purposely cut my nipples.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Oh, there was one other segment within the Trump interview. And what are you doing there, Spencer?
What are you doing, step bro?
Brian it's the Krasenstein Bros. So this one, zoom in just a little bit. Can you zoom in so I can actually see it, Spencer? Can you zoom it so people can actually read it? Jesus Christ, worst producer on the planet. You're fired and happy Passover. Brian Krasenstein tweets out, breaking, Trump just implied that the U.S. blew up the Nord Stream pipeline. I mean, yeah, we kind of did. And that it wasn't Russia in his Fox News interview with Tucker Carlson. Show me the lie. Trump doesn't know crap. I love how he like self-censors himself. If you honestly think that the United States government would perform some incredibly clandestine operation against Russia and then brief the most pro-Russian former president on the situation, then you probably also believe all the other lies told on Fox News. Oh, you sweet summer child, Brian Krasenstein.
I'm really glad they're back on Twitter.
I'm glad they're back too. It's so great to see, people just make complete and total asses of themselves. Play the clip. Let's see the clip.
Up the Nord Stream pipeline. I don't want to get our country in trouble, so I won't answer it. But I can tell you who it wasn't, was Russia. How about when they blamed Russia? They said Russia blew up their own pipeline. You got a kick out of that one too. It wasn't Russia. Blew up the Nord.
Okay, I don't know if anyone can actually hear that, but he said, I can tell you who it wasn't. It wasn't Russia.
And he also said, like, I don't want to get my country in trouble. So I'm not gonna say who it was, but I'm gonna say who it wasn't.
It wasn't Russia. 69 minutes into the stream, I want to show you this one other clip, and this was specifically about Jay's favorite governor on the entire planet, Gavin Newsom.
Well, you got along with Gavin Newsom.
I did.
Hold on, yeah, that's a lot of, that's right in there.
I used to get along great with him. When I was president, I got along really good, Gavin.
Well, you got along with Gavin Newsom.
I did. I really did. He was always very nice to me. He said the greatest things. He would say things like he's doing a great job. Oh, he was very
About
nice
you?
about me. That's why I could never hit him, because he was so nice to me. I used to get along great with him. When I was president, I got along really good, Gavin.
Well, you got along with Gavin Newsom?
I did. I really did. He was always very nice to me. He said the greatest things. He would say things like he's doing a great job. Oh, he was very
About
nice
you?
about me. That's why I could never hit him, because he was so nice to me. I used to get along.
This guy's such a fucking moron. So fucking retarded. It is insane. Insane. Gavin said a couple of nice things to him because he wanted to get some federal fucking money when the forest fires were happening here in California. And the only reason why Trump is saying shit like this is because of DeSantis. That's it. That's the only reason why he's going to say some shit like this. And you're going to have like Trump retards coming out and actually praising Newsom now over this shit.
I actually
think to go and hit DeSantis.
I think that prediction might actually pan out.
I am 100% sure it is. That's how fucking retarded this whole situation is.
I think what's so funny about it is that, like, I don't know if he did it specifically to go after DeSantis, but like, we're gonna pull up the interview that Newsom did with Yazaki, and it seemed interesting because one of the big highlights from that was Gavin Newsom and Psaki going after DeSantis. So you have if you were to connect the dots, then yeah, you could probably say they're going after DeSantis. But also, do you think it's like a killing two birds with one stone situation where they're trying to also take out Gavin Newsom so that they can run against Biden? It's like a sort of like a reverse psychology type of deal. Because if Trump praises Gavin Newsom, then all of a sudden
to try and get him to challenge Biden.
Yeah,
I honestly
like
think
a double-edged sword right there.
It's the 69 D chess move.
69
that Trump always makes. But the thing is I think Newsom is going to challenge him regardless. I think that's always been the move with Newsom. You can tell.
It's funny.
You can tell. It's just the way it's been doing. And it's the same thing with DeSantis too. They both haven't thrown their names into the nomination yet, but they are campaigning like they've been campaigning for months, like they have been running for president.
So I think there's that level to it. I do think Trump made a kind of a weird judgment and error, thinking that Kamala Harris was going. Well, he first said that he doesn't think Joe Biden can run just based on his mental acuity, which he's probably not wrong. But to think that they would replace him, he initially said they would replace him at least on the ballot in 2024 with Kamala Harris, which and then he's basically said that everybody on the left will just throw they'll absolutely lose their shit if Kamala Harris is not the nominee, which is actually not really true. I mean, maybe the neoliberal establishment will lose their shit, but Democratic voters can't fucking stand Kamala Harris. So
no, they can't. I mean, she's more unpopular than fucking what's
Biden.
Biden, yeah,
100%. So essentially, I mean, look, it was an interesting interview, and it definitely wasn't like a nothing burger that some people thought it would be. But at the same time, could he have come out swinging harder? Maybe. I don't know. He seemed kind of subdued. But with that being said, with Newsom, let's go play that clip of Gavin on Jen Yazaki.
And I just have to say this right here. You know how the media and the industry as a whole like to shit on Hannity or Tucker for their interviews that they do with people like Trump.
Right. They'd be like, "You're awesome.
Silent.
Please explain."
Yes, and they are absolutely silent when the previous And this is the previous in the same administration in the same term. White House press secretary is interviewing one of the leading candidates for the Democratic presidential nominee.
Right.
This is why the industry in of itself needs to be burned to the fucking ground. There is no. This whole thing is propaganda. This whole thing, every one of these industries are propaganda for a side. They're here to lie to you. Same thing with Fox. The Tucker interview with
Trump.
With Trump. This here is a degree worse just because of who Jen Psaki is and the way the interview is conducted.
Yeah, no, I definitely don't disagree with that assessment. I think it's right on the money. I will say though that at least on some of these friendly interviews, and I will say this, I feel like you get more information out of what a politician truly thinks when they're in a friendly interview than when they're in a hostile adversarial interview. Like if there's specific, say if like every interview that was done with a Republican was done by Mehdi retard Hassan, because he goes, but his handle is Mehdi R Hassan. I assume the R is for retard. So Mehdi retard Hassan is interviewing, say, Trump. Every single question would be like, why are you a racist? Why are you a bigot? Why are you transphobe? Like, you're not going to get anything out of that interview. But if you get like Tucker, you get Tucker in there and you get Trump comfortable, he's going to reveal a whole lot more. That's kind of the case with basically every single politician. You're going to reveal more, even if the interviewer is stroking their ego, sucking their dick, rubbing their balls, maybe sticking the finger in their booty. That's just kind of how it goes. So let's play that clip.
There was a pretty startling split screen. You had 1,000 kids in Nashville out there protesting the lack of action on gun reform measures. Well, you had Governor DeSantis signing a bill on permitless carry behind closed doors.
Yeah,
what did you make of that?
Scared to death.
Who is he scared of?
Scared of the people. Scared of the
people
public.
In Florida?
Yeah, that overwhelmingly oppose that position. But I think the majority of NRA members, probably oppose that position. No background checks. No background. None. Really? I mean, no training. Why would we do that with weapons of war?
Which is what permitless carry means.
That's extreme in the extreme. That's what's happening. Of course, not surprising. The guy doesn't believe that a young
not
girl.
What permitless carry means.
Are these people
the training part,
retarded?
but not no background check? What the fuck?
You have to get a background check, and you have to go through the federal database in order to go through to purchase any firearm.
Right,
you have to go through a federal background check.
This is what I mean. That this is so fucking retarded. Is that she, instead of correcting him over this lie, she's like, yes, absolutely. The lie. Yeah, she's the one who's mentioning the lie and encouraging the lie. And this dumb fuck is saying that the NRA members are mostly against permitless, permitless concealed carry. Yeah. Are you fucking retarded? They are absolutely constitutional carry, and they lobby for every fucking state to hold this position.
100%.
Essentially. And you just have this dumb bitch like, you're right. You're totally
right. It's funny because literally the last 3 mass shootings that have happened have been done by people who've also passed a background check to get their weapon. And in spite of that, regardless of whether they had to go through any training to get, say, a concealed carry, didn't matter because they still broke the fucking law and killed a bunch of people. How do you get criminals to respect the law by not, if they're going, how are you going to make more laws when every single criminal that is out there will never say, oh, they created this law, I guess I can't go commit this mass shooting now. Damn rats. Oh, gee willikers. I imagine that's how criminals talk.
Right. And it's fucking hilarious. Look, and over here we see that DeSantis has a 60% approval rating, and what's his name? Fucking Newsom has a 50% approval rating. So I don't think him saying that DeSantis is scared of his own people is actually kind of fucking true.
It's actually pretty disgusting how some of these people have been responding to even just this shooting in this week. It was in Louisville. I'll just break away quickly from the Newsom bit. We'll get right back to it in just a moment, Spencer. Just keep it up. We have Senator Rick Scott from Florida tweeting on Monday saying, "My friend Tommy Elliott was killed today in Louisville. He was my banker for many years. This news is very shocking and sad for Ann and me. He did so much in the Louisville community. We pray for his family during this awful time." And this is how David Hogg, who was a quote unquote survivor of the Parkland shooting in 2018, responded. Rick Scott, David Hogg says, "Must be tough knowing you're complicit." What the fuck?
It's amazing.
It is amazing. How is it possible that people are so shitty?
Well, it's their tactic. It's always been their tactic. Oh, you're against this policy? That means you want X to all die.
Yeah.
Oh, you're
complicit. You killed your friend.
Yes, you're complicit on the deaths of trans people. You're complicit in the deaths of kids who get shot up in school. You're complicit in all of these things because you oppose my policy. It is the 101 tactic that they use because they're pieces of garbage. And you're not going to get people to listen to you and actually vote your way by acting this way whatsoever.
Well, David Hogg is and has always been a bitch ass motherfucker.
Yep.
I don't even have like the right words. He's
a bitch ass nuclear.
He's a bitch ass nuclear. That is the N word that we are allowed to say. Oh man. So back to Jay's favorite governor. Go ahead, hit it, Spencer.
Should have the freedom to determine her own reproductive future. It has to bear the child of her rapist in the name of freedom, without the exception of rape and incest. I mean, that's what we're getting from these folks. So, look, it sickens me in my core, I'll tell you. And you would have more insight than anybody, so you can validate. What happened in Tennessee triggered this trip. Just triggered. I can't. I called the White House, full disclosure. I said, I can't take it. I can't. I got 4 young. I can't. I was given speeches, the same speech you've seen every politician give, in Monterey Park, down in Salinas. I gave it prior down in Gilroy. Gave them when I was mayor. We see the dance. Uvalde. I mean, I can't. I just can't take it. I can't take it. And then to see the same governors, these talk about mental health, unique apparently in America. To talk about, our parents and our family. I mean, all the BS. And then they claim to care about life when the number one cause of death for our children is guns. Shameful. They're shameful. And it should shock our souls, but it's becoming so normalized. It's a matter of hours now, not even days. I mean, I thought we would never move on from Parkland or never move on from Uvalde, never move on from Buffalo. I had to read the manifesto. I read the manifesto from the shooter in Buffalo. I still have chills thinking about that manifesto to understand that.
Where is it? Did you read that one?
Did he read the manifesto in Nashville? Did he?
Did he?
Did he? Share it with us,
Mr.
Gavin.
I'll fucking talk. Did he? Piece of shit.
How much more time we got on this clip?
The manifesto allegedly for the shooter in Tennessee, all connected, this broader contagion. They don't care about our kids, because if they did, they'd ban these damn weapons of war. They would have background checks. They require some common damn sense. They don't. So you know what, those kids that were there in the Capitol, God bless every single one of them.
There is background checks.
God bless the insurrectionists. Thank you, California.
Insurrections are good again. In fact,
they protect democracy.
They protect democracy. With that being said, let's get to our last segment, and that is Ask Us Anything. Go ahead and ask us your questions. Of course, as I said before, $5 a month to join our locals, or you could join the non-pores chat and ask us questions even faster, or even watch Jay and I rub our nipples. But you have to pay for it. That's the only difference. Hit the like and subscribe button, of course. And go ahead and check out a bunch of the links in the descriptions.
And join our Discord, Habibi.
So go ahead, ask us those questions. I don't know if there's anything in here. But Fitzy motherfucking Cent says, watch the clip of Sammy the Bull making tons of sense on gun laws. It's an 8-minute clip on YouTube from Valuetainment. I don't know if I can watch it right this second, but I will watch it a little bit later. Yeah, it's been a trip, man. These are everything you're seeing right now. I've never seen. Wait, hold on. Fox Otterson on Rumble says, just to clarify, aren't we paying to not see you rub your nipples? That is touche, Habibi. We
this is right. That's what it is.
Jay, I can't hear you. What was that?
I said that's right. He's right.
Yeah, when you're too far away from the mic, I can't hear you.
I apologize. Can you hear me now?
Can you turn up the gain on your mic? Maybe you wouldn't have to like speak it with it in your fucking mouth.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah. You actually do pay. Actually, yes. The way our locals works is like a reverse OnlyFans, where you actually have to pay money to get us to put on clothes. So I feel like we've held true to that.
I think so too.
I think so. So, other than that, let's see what else we got. Hold up. We got a Elon Musk tweet. Oh, and then Earn time. Yeah, I got to go get Ernie now.
Go get Earn, and we'll start.
Go get him.
We'll look at these. We'll look at these Elon Musk tweets. Fox Otterson. Yes, I'm sorry. I will put my shirt back on for you. I apologize. I've had some bourbon. $4.20. Very, very good. I wonder if Siraj is going to keep his or not. I don't know. Some things that Elon Musk has been doing with Twitter has been kind of garbage.
Hi, Ernie. How you doing, bud?
There he is.
Good boy.
There's the king. So the Elon Musk tweet was the date for the. Here it is.
The Elon Musk tweet was what?
Final date for removing legacy blue checks is 4/20.
4/20.
I mean, the date is based for sure, but I'm saying like a lot of things that Elon Musk is doing on Twitter is kind of making it worse in some aspects.
Oh no, he's 100%. He's essentially 100% made the website worse.
He has.
I think we're shadow banned into oblivion.
Probably, honestly, and especially because I keep on talking about him in China, and then I also wrote his mom posted about the opening of the Shanghai
Tesla
whatever the fuck they call it for the batteries.
showroom.
It's a showroom too. And I said, are you going to be advocating for the Uyghur Muslims out there? And she deleted my comment and blocked me off of Instagram. So I took a screenshot and then I tagged them on Twitter, him and his mom on it. Actually, I'm gonna go retweet it right now.
Ernie, you're such a nut. Are you gonna pull it up?
No, I'm gonna retweet it.
Yes, please retweet it and show everyone.
I can find it, honestly. It was a little bit ago.
Master Thief on Local says, well, it turns out Substack is actually doing tweet style notes. So that part wasn't bullshit. Might actually get that. Twitter is fun,
it is. But the thing is, Substack the people on Substack, there's a lot of people on Substack that use Twitter. So it's like a double-edged sword for them to take it out because they're gonna post it on both. The people who use Substack will never stop posting on Twitter,
right?
Even if Substack has something like notes, exactly. And they would never have as many what's it called, followers on Substack as they do on Twitter. So they'll always post it on Twitter. They'll always have engagement on Twitter like that. But this is just going to cause more and more people to get off of Twitter, especially writers. And
he disconnected his mic. What a boomer. I don't think no one can hear you because I got disconnected. You gotta go and go back to your settings. Ernie, you got so much fur. I can't have it all in my mouth.
No, sorry. What's it called? I hit the wire. So it took it off. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
What were you going to say? What were you going to show me?
I'm trying to find the tweet.
You can't do like advanced search?
How do you do advanced searches?
I think you got to Google it, Twitter advanced search, and then you can...
and then I can figure out how to do it.
Do you want me to just do it for you?
Yeah, I also forgot what was in the tweet.
Oh my God.
No, shit like this happens. Oh, dude, I used a AI for this picture I'm about to retweet. It looks pretty good. I forgot what I prompted in the Bing image, and it was I said Arab jihadi throwing beer down the toilet. And it turned out really good.
Can you show me?
No, I just retweeted it. You can go find it.
Spencer, can you do me a solid and try to find that?
Oh, he found it. Look at that. There it is.
Look at that. Hey. Now we don't have to fire you for this. We could fire you for every other thing you fucked up tonight. You want to read that, Jay?
Yeah, so I said Elon Musk's mom is in China and posted this outside of a Tesla dealership. I posted a comment stating that I hope she advocates for Uyghurs who are facing a genocide at the hands of the Chinese government. And then I was like, why did you delete my comment, Musk's mommy? Are you pro-genocide? And then I tagged Elon Musk as well. And you can see not a lot of people actually probably were able to see it. Scroll down and retweet it, sir. Spencer, retweet it for me, please. Oh, I found it. Never mind. So I'm just going to retweet it as well.
Like that I zoomed in on Ernie.
And then somebody's like, not wanting your mom to die in a Chinese jail makes you a phony now, apparently. Not wanting your mom to die in China.
Ernie, why are you such a nut? He's just chilling here. Look at this.
No, he's always chilling. He's such a good dog. I mean, he doesn't bark that much. He's always great to hang around with. He's a little fucking loaf.
He is a very happy boy. Good boy.
Who's asking? Elon Musk's mom is a satanic witch, and the apple didn't fall far from the tree. This is pretty true.
Yeah, a lot of people are losing their cool on Elon.
Yeah, they're starting to. I mean, he was a based meme edge lord. But the thing is like slowly we're going to start seeing the ownership of how much China owns Tesla and how much China owns Elon. Because that's going to be absolutely insane to see. Because I want to know what percentage now the CCP owns of Tesla for them to open the factory there and for them to have a dealership there.
Yeah. What did Elon give up? And I'm afraid he gave up a lot more than we think.
Yep.
So before we go, quick reminder, hit that like and subscribe button. $5 a month to join our locals. Use the promo code JenRubin 69420. Get 2 months off of your monthly subscription. You don't have to sign up for a full year this time. And you can also join the non-Pores chat, the Habibi Bros Discord server, and our upcoming fantasy league and football, which is coming up in maybe like four months already. It's coming up quick. Come. And also you get more earned content, which, by the way, I try to post more of on the locals, which...
Well, but you're busy with the postcards, so I think they understand.
Busy with the what?
The postcards, so I think they understand.
Oh, yeah, they do. They do, 100%. Any last words by you, Spencer?
Nah, hit that like and subscribe. Wow. Jay, really? I thought you grew up, Jay. I really thought you moved from 1 inch to 2 inches.
Never.
Damn.
Never.
Shaking my head.
Spencer Sachs,
all
our
our
producer.
social media platforms, LinkedIn bio, all that shit.
Anything you want to say about Bud Light? I know you had some thoughts.
Oh yeah. College parties don't really use Bud Light anymore. Like, they suck. If you want to drink piss water, drink actual piss water. If you want to drink something to get hammered, drink Miller Lite. Like, it's night and day.
Miller Lite.
Spencer.
Bud Light's literally. I don't see. But I've gone to plenty of college parties. I have not seen Bud Light at many of them. Like, maybe two.
Yeah. We could
once
tell
in a while.
We could tell that your college experience is just like Siraj's, where you are never invited anywhere.
And also that you're only drinking piss.
Right.
Because let's be honest, that's all I drank in
That's
college.
all he drinks too is Miller Lite.
That's actually what I drink now.
You know.
Yeah, but make sure that
they can't blame you for a man who loves Jen Rubin. You know.
Yeah,
crystal clear.
And I gotta make sure that the piss isn't cloudy. It's got to be pure. Okay, I can tell immediately. So, anyway, Spencer, happy Passover. Get the fuck out of here. That's our producer, Spencer Sachs. You can follow him on Twitter at Spencer_Sachs. Jay, any last words before we send it off?
Love you, Habibis. Make sure to get hammered for the rest of the night.
And just a reminder, Habibis,
World War III.
We can't do this without your support. So thank you for your continued support and watching and listening and engaging with us. Y'all mean the world to us. We are actually we got a list stream on Thursday, got a gaming stream. I'm gonna try to do ASAP. Jay's gonna try to get back on Dead Space. I'm gonna try to get back on Elden Ring. One other thing, and this is something that I want everybody to know. April 22nd will mark 3 years of Habibi Power Hour. 3 years, our third birthday, April 22nd. It would have been on 420. But Jay and I were kind of high then, so we got around to it just a couple days later. So that's the reason why it's on 422. Anyways, you're fired, Spencer, for that reason alone, even though he wasn't our producer then.
But he's still fired. It was his fault. Yeah.
It was his fault. It actually is 100% his fault. So
essentially,
that April 22nd is gonna be a Friday. It's actually gonna be Eid that day. So even if we wanted to do like a 3-year anniversary stream, we're gonna just have to wait until next week because of course, Jay, you and I are lazy sacks of shit.
True.
And we're late to everything. So
very
but
true.
for the Habibi Bros, I'm Siraj Hashmi.
I'm Jay Kobbe.
And you've been lovely. Thank you so much for inviting us into your home and getting on the government watch list on our hour. We appreciate it. Love you. Peace. Masalama.